Today we are going to be working with our listening skills. In order to do it, we are going to watch a video and we are going to have a discussion about it. So I'm going to share with you my screen. And now we are going to go to the forum. This is the forum of today's class. So, Vale Urrego, can you please help me reading the instructions of today?
Yes, dear students, today we're working with our listening skills. In order to do, you are going to watch a video that will help you to know how fake news can be spread and will have a discussion about it.
So, dears, what is the meaning of a spread? Who knows? Or what can you imagine if I say that fake news can be spread? Babies, what do you think? What is a spread? What can you imagine? Gabi, what do you imagine if I say spread?
I know.
Not sure. Juan David, what can you imagine?
I know, teacher.
I know, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's like difundir.
Sí, como difundir, esparcirse, that's it. So, thank you, baby. Today we are going to watch a video. And the video is really short. It's a short video about how fake news or false news can spread. This video is by a speaker that is called Noah Troblin. So we are going to watch it. It is going to have subtitles. And as soon as we finish with the video, we are going to do two things. The first thing is that we are going to have a discussion about the video. And the second thing is that we are going to try to think in some fake news that we know as fake news that have been spread in the world, okay? So questions about the things that we are going to be doing today?
No.
No questions? Okay. So let's begin with the video. This video is from a page that is called TED-Ed. I don't know if you have used this page at some point. It's really good, so maybe you can use it because you can find a lot of videos related to a lot of topics, you know? So I am going to play it in my screen and let's do it.
There's a quote usually attributed to the writer Mark Twain that goes, "A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes." Funny thing about that, there's reason to doubt that Mark Twain ever said this at all, thus ironically proving the point. And today the quote, whoever said it, is truer than ever before. In previous decades, most media with global reach consisted of several major newspapers and networks which had the resources to gather information directly. Outlets like Reuters and the Associated Press that aggregate or re-report stories were relatively rare compared to today. The speed with which information spreads now has created the ideal conditions for a phenomenon known as circular reporting. This is when publication A publishes misinformation, publication B reprints it, and publication A then cites B as the source for the information. It's also considered a form of circular reporting when multiple publications report on the same initial piece of false information, which then appears to another author as having been verified by multiple sources. For instance, the 1998 publication of a single pseudoscientific paper arguing that routine vaccination of children causes autism inspired an entire anti-vaccination movement, despite the fact that the original paper has repeatedly been discredited by the scientific community. Deliberately unvaccinated children are now contracting contagious diseases that had been virtually eradicated in the United States, with some infections proving fatal. In a slightly less dire example, satirical articles that are formatted to resemble real ones can also be picked up by outlets not in on the joke. For example, a joke article in the reputable British Medical Journal entitled Energy Expenditure in Adolescents Playing New Generation Computer Games has been referenced in serious science publications over 400 times. User-generated content such as wikis are also a common contributor to circular reporting. As more writers come to rely on such pages for quick information, an unverified fact in a wiki page can make its way into a published article that may later be added as a citation for the very same wiki information, making it much harder to debunk. Recent advances in communication technology have had immeasurable benefits in breaking down the barriers between information and people. But our desire for quick answers may overpower the desire to be certain of their validity. And when this bias can be multiplied by billions of people around the world nearly instantaneously, more caution is in order. Avoiding sensationalist media, searching for criticisms of suspicious information, and tracing the original source of a report can help slow down a lie, giving the truth more time to put on its shoes.
Okay, babies, I am going to play it just one more time because I am going to ask specific questions. So I hope that you are taking notes, okay? So, one more time and then we are going to have our discussion time. Questions up to this moment? No questions? Okay. So, let's do it again.
There's a quote usually attributed to the writer Mark Twain that goes, "A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes." Funny thing about that, there's reason to doubt that Mark Twain ever said this at all, thus ironically proving the point. And today the quote, whoever said it, is truer than ever before. In previous decades, most media with global reach consisted of several major newspapers and networks which had the resources to gather information directly. Outlets like Reuters and the Associated Press that aggregate or re-report stories were relatively rare compared to today. The speed with which information spreads now has created the ideal conditions for a phenomenon known as circular reporting. This is when publication A publishes misinformation, publication B reprints it, and publication A then cites B as the source for the information. It's also considered a form of circular reporting when multiple publications report on the same initial piece of false information, which then appears to another author as having been verified by multiple sources. For instance, the 1998 publication of a single pseudoscientific paper arguing that routine vaccination of children causes autism inspired an entire anti-vaccination movement, despite the fact that the original paper has repeatedly been discredited by the scientific community. Deliberately unvaccinated children are now contracting contagious diseases that had been virtually eradicated in the United States, with some infections proving fatal. In a slightly less dire example, satirical articles that are formatted to resemble real ones can also be picked up by outlets not in on the joke. For example, a joke article in the reputable British Medical Journal entitled Energy Expenditure in Adolescents Playing New Generation Computer Games has been referenced in serious science publications over 400 times. User-generated content such as wikis are also a common contributor to circular reporting. As more writers come to rely on such pages for quick information, an unverified fact in a wiki page can make its way into a published article that may later be added as a citation for the very same wiki information, making it much harder to debunk. Recent advances in communication technology have had immeasurable benefits in breaking down the barriers between information and people. But our desire for quick answers may overpower the desire to be certain of their validity. And when this bias can be multiplied by billions of people around the world nearly instantaneously, more caution is in order. Avoiding sensationalist media, searching for criticisms of suspicious information, and tracing the original source of a report can help slow down a lie, giving the truth more time to put on its shoes.
Okay, my dears. So, are you ready? Did you take notes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, let's begin. Who can give me a general idea? I am going to let you decide who wants to talk, okay? Who can give me a general idea of the video? What was the video about?
I want
Okay, Juliana and Denisa. Julia.
the video showed that a situation that was in the past and stay in the present, and is a fake news that cause different um, problems. For example, the virus that suffer state unit for
United
the
States.
moment that the people didn't agree with the vacunas, se me olvidó,
Basin.
vaccines, and uh, this this video show that is a big problem in the world because the fake news uh, the fake news arise to the whole world and uh, ay, se me olvidó.
Go.
Teacher, ¿cómo es que se decía? Que se esparcían,
Spread.
espera,
Spread.
spread for the art world and cause that the people do different things that that is dangerous for the life and for different things.
Okay, princess, thank you very much. Isa, tell me, baby.
No, teacher, ya no.
No? Okay.
Es que no entendí bien el video, solo era una pregunta.
Oh, tell me. Tell me the question. It's okay.
Es que no sé cómo decirlo en inglés.
Okay, tell me in Spanish.
Que yo entendí algo sobre la tecnología y el periódico, pero no, o sea, como que me confundí.
They were saying that usually. Okay, let's talk about a wiki. That was related with a wiki. So, have you ever seen those pages like Wikipedia and wiki pages?
Yes.
What happened? Usually, when someone publishes something in those wiki pages, a lot of people is going to be having access to that. So, for example, if you want like really fast information, you can go and you can look for it on Wikipedia or in another wiki page. When those pages and those wikis have a lot of visitors, sometimes that can be that famous that serious newspapers can use the stories and to print it because they believe that is a real story, when in fact you don't know if that is true or if that is fake news.
Teacher, I have a question.
Tell me.
This could be, how do you say plagio?
Plagiarism.
This could be plagiarismo.
Sometimes, because maybe, for example, plagiarism is when you have information of something and you are going to write, I don't know, an article. So the article, you took the article from another page, or maybe from a book, or maybe from a different resource, different from your own creation, and you just write it, but you don't write the font. No escribes la fuente. Yeah, you write it like it was your creation. So that's plagiarism. So sometimes you can find news, and those news can contain plagiarism because they maybe took the news from another one, from another page, but they are not telling you that. And that's the thing that happens with the circular reporting. Who can remember what is circular reporting? What is that?
I want
Go ahead, Gabby.
the circular reporting is that a person A realize a new and
Release.
but it release, but it's a fake news, and the person B shares that news, but the person A say that the who who did no sé cómo who did the news, it's the person B.
So yeah, that's it. When you have like some news published by an A person, yeah, and that person publishes like misinformation things. So person B arrive and read the news and says like, oh my god, this is interesting. So I am going to print it. I am going to spread this news around the world. And suddenly someone realizes that the news was like a little bit weird. And when they try to find who is the source, then the source is going to tell, no, it wasn't me, it was them. Les echa la culpa porque sí. So that is circular reporting, and that is usually how fake news are spread around the world. And that's related with the thing that Juan Pablo was saying. Do you think that this can be maybe some kind of plagiarism? I mean, if I wrote it, but I say that I didn't, and also the person B didn't wrote fonts or citations or anything, do you think that this can be a plagiarism thing?
Pues no como tal plagio, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a lie. You're right that.
Okay, it's a lie. And maybe you, as the authors of the news, are going to know that this is a lie. And you are just going to wash your hands and to say that someone else did it. And you are going to still making fake news because usually those kind of sites, those kind of people, um, keep writing fake news, but they are hardly catch. What is the meaning of hardly catch? Who knows? Or what do you
Como
think?
y atrapar.
Yeah, because they have that amount of news spread all around the world with so many others that they are not going to be able to find the real source. Okay, let's continue. Who remembers who is Mark Twain? Who can tell me? Mark Twain. That was the first name that you had in your video. Who's that guy? Mariana, what do you remember of Mark Twain?
Mark Twain say like a phrase, a
Mm-hmm.
sentence like that it's very important because he expressed like the the light it's travel more faster around the world than the truth.
Yes, that's it. What do you think of that quotation? Do you think that is true or not?
Yes, I think that is true because it's more easy to tell a lie, but when you tell the lie, it's more difficult then change that to for the truth.
That's true. So, what do you think of that quotation, Bali?
I think true. The position is true
Why?
because is I don't know explain in English.
Try to do it. You can do it. Or if you can't, we are going to do it together.
Because the potassium.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't know. I don't.
So the quotation is true. Why?
Because it's how do you say algo?
How do you say what?
Algo.
Something.
Sparkle. For how do you say puede pasar?
It can happen.
It can happen in the life actually.
The actual life. Okay, babies. So yeah, actually lies can spread faster than true things. Let's continue. Do you remember that they were talking about the vaccine? Juliana said that. Yeah, but Juliana is not going to talk in this occasion. But they were talking about a vaccine. What happened or which was like the trouble that they had with the vaccine, Juan David? That vaccine was like in 1998.
¿Me repites la pregunta, profe? Es que no
What
escuché bien.
was which was the issue with the vaccine? What happened with the vaccine? They talk about the vaccine in the video. Una vacuna. What happened with that?
Ah, ok. Uy. ¿Cómo es que se decía vacuna en inglés, profe?
Vaccine.
Eso, así.
Go ahead.
Oh, I know. Can I talk?
No, Juan David is going to do it, and then you can do it, Mariana. Okay, but first let Juan David.
I think to the vaccine is dangerous, según lo que yo vi.
Why? What they were saying about the vaccine? Because they were super sick and they released a vaccine, but people around the town was like, they were super afraid of something. What happened with the vaccine?
¿Puedo hablar en español, profe?
Try to do it in English, darling. Try. You can do it. If you don't know some words, I can help you, don't worry. We are going to try to do it together, okay?
The vaccine is dangerous because
Because
the vaccines cause autism
autism.
and the people.
So yes, that's the thing that they say, Juan David. Very good. They were saying that the vaccine was going to cause autism. Mariana, do you want to add something else?
Oh, no, teacher.
No? Okay, so yes, they were saying that. What is autism? Who can tell me? What is that?
Teacher, can you repeat the question?
What is autism? What is that?
No, I don't know, teacher.
What do you think?
I want,
Okay.
Autismo, ¿no?
Autismo. So Gabi, what is autism?
teacher, but
Okay, Isa, tell me.
it's like a condition of some people have some people that consists in like how do you say, es que no sé cómo decirlo, como un auto guardado, no sé, como que no, es que no sé cómo explicarlo.
Like self-isolation? Como que se aíslan?
Yes, something like that. And it's like no, I don't know. Yes, it's like that.
Yeah, maybe it can be said like isolation. Okay, Gabi, go ahead.
It's a condition who some people have because they have a cerebral problem. So they, for that reason, they make some different attitudes. For example, they can't think very fast, or someone can walk, or someone can't talk. So that it's a como se dice un retraso, perdón.
Like a delay, like a brain delay or something like that.
Like a brain delay.
Yeah. So yes, actually, autism is when it's like some kind of illness. You can say that, where the people is going to have a lot of troubles when communicating with others. Yeah. Or to do something specifically, but actually they are really good in some other things. So, for example, you can have a person or you can know a person that has autism, and maybe he's going to be he's going to have a lot of troubles with maths, but he's going to be the best, I don't know, in music. So they have some extraordinary abilities too, you know? But basically, is that. So, can you imagine that situation? They were super sick and they were having a lot of troubles, and then suddenly someone said that they had a vaccine to fight with the illness. So let's imagine that situation in these days. So let's imagine that someone suddenly says like, okay, I have the coronavirus vaccine and I'm going to give it to you. But some other people said like, oh no, don't do it because coronavirus is going to produce cancer. What will you do? If you don't know if that is true or no, because you are not the owners of the vaccine, you are not the creators, you have never used the vaccine, you don't know cases of the vaccine being used, but someone said that that vaccine is going to produce cancer, and maybe that person said it like a joke, but the fake news spread and spread and spread. What will you do?
I would not wear it.
You wouldn't use it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you, Isa. Any other opinion? What would you do if you have that vaccine? The possibility to avoid coronavirus, but someone says that it is going to produce or to cause cancer. You don't know if that's true or not. And no one can really tell you if that's true or not. What will you do? Natalia, what will you do if you have that vaccine?
But it's so difficult because if I don't know it's true or false, no?
Yeah, you
If
don't
I
know.
this is helado y this is el cáncer, I want to be it's so bad.
And what if no? What if that is fake news?
I go to a doctor.
Okay, so what's the easiest thing to do? The first thing that you have to do is to check if that information is true or not. Yeah? So in the video, they gave you like 3 tips in order to know if the news are like real news or fake news. Which was the first one? Avoiding what? Who can tell me? Like 3 tips. Avoiding what? Camilo, do you remember that? The tips that they gave?
I want
Okay, Nata and then Camilo. Go ahead, Nata.
that share URL, algo así,
What,
or
baby?
fuente. O sea, tips para saber si son las fuentes verdaderas.
So yeah, those are tips, but no, they didn't say like specifically. Try to find if that is true or not. Okay, so tell me about the 3 tips because they gave you 3 specific tips. Camila, do you remember the tips? Like at least the first one?
You can tell me the first one, and I tell you the second, the third. Yes.
Okay. So the first one was avoiding sensationalicious media. What is that? Sensationalist media. What is that? Even in Spanish, what is that?
What is what? I don't know that sound.
Sensationalist media.
Sensation of the media.
Sensationalist media.
Okay. I understand only the word sensation, that is sensación, but the resto no sé.
Who can tell me another idea? What is that? Or sensacionalista, sensacionalismo. What is that? Sensationalist. What is that? Because Camilo was saying like teacher, I can maybe relate it to sensations and feelings or something like that. Who can give me another idea? Maybe Juliana. What do you think if, or what do you
Teacher, I want.
imagine? So
If
Juliana and Denisa.
is a thing that they use the information media to do the news more llamativos.
Okay. What do you say, Isa?
Es que, teacher, how do you say según?
According to.
According the explanation that my cousin gave me alguna vez, it's like how do you say amarillismo, teacher?
In this case, it is going to be like that. Sensationalist is a synonym.
Okay, yes, it's something like that, and that is a type of information that give the how do you say? Espera. The media, and it's like information that they think that is, how do you say, como que les conviene a ellos, teacher?
Like for convenience?
Yes, something like that, and that isn't, that don't say the truth, and
Okay.
they only say the information that they think that les conviene, ¿sí? Como que les conviene la información. Es que no sé cómo explicarlo en inglés.
Yes, it is that. When for example, you have somebody who is going to post news, but they are going to take into account not the important part of the news, but they are going to try to talk about the aspects that are going to be like disgusting, that are going to produce people trying to look for it all the time. ¿Sí? Como que ponen noticias y destacan los aspectos más llamativos. Como lo más feíto, como sí, lo más llamativo, aún si es algo malo. Entonces, por ejemplo, puedes encontrar noticias. ¿Han visto ese periódico que se llama Q? Yes? Or no?
Yes, yes, yes.
So, what happened with Cubo? Do you think that Cubo publishes the news like El Tiempo?
Iba a decir yellowista, amarillista.
Yellowist.
Yellowist.
So, ¿han visto ese periódico? O sea, la pregunta es esta. Do you think that, for example, Cubo publishes the news like El Espectador o El Tiempo?
Yes.
Vale, what can you say?
No, can you repeat the question?
Do you think that Cubo publishes the news maybe like El Tiempo or El Espectador?
No.
Why not?
No.
Who can tell me why not?
Because the how do you say lo que publica? The publish?
What they publish it? Or what they publish?
The publish El Tiempo or other periods. the information is, how do you say, for empresas o cosas
Enterprises.
más importantes, interpret or notice importance, and
Important
QO
things.
is noticed for how, no, I don't know, she died, and yes.
So, here is the main difference. Thank you, Ali. The main difference is, for example, El Tiempo and Cuba can be talking about the same news. Someone who was found killed in the street. Encontraron a una persona asesinada, a murdered person, en la calle. El Tiempo is going to do like, okay, they are going to try to talk about the news. They are going to have maybe some interviews, and they are going to publish an image of the street where the body was found. In the case of Cuba, they are going to uh, give you also interviews, but maybe not interviews from the police, but from the neighbor that was next to the body. And they are going to publish not the picture of the street, but the picture of the body. Yeah? That's sensationalist. A sensationalist news. Okay? So, babies, what is the other tip, Camilo? So the first one is avoiding sensationalist media.
Yes.
What is the second one?
The
The second tip, searching.
what searching?
Buscar. Searching for what?
Searching for. Ay, no entiendo, pero estoy súper perdido hoy.
Baby, we have some tips. Sorry. The first one is avoiding sensationalist media. The second one is searching for criticism. What is that of criticism? What can you imagine, Camilo?
Búsqueda de la crítica.
So yeah, you have to try to look for news and reliable sources where you are going to find not only the news but also some opinions from reliable sources about it. So for example, if you visit, it's the same example of El Tiempo and Cubo. If you read that the vaccine of coronavirus is going to give you cancer or to produce cancer, maybe in that or in a
Is the
different
critic
page,
of the
a
news.
page of, yeah, or a page, an online page that is going to have like weird information. What will you do? And you don't have you don't have opinions, you don't have testimonies, you don't have anything, and you have it like in that kind of newspaper or maybe in an online news with some troubles of confidence. ¿Qué harías?
With the people who have cancer.
Yeah, with the vaccine. O sea, ¿le crees que sí, que la vacuna te va a dar cáncer?
No, yo no creo que la vacuna. Okay, the vaccine have the cure but don't have cancer. Yes.
Okay, so you just have to, maybe it can happen, but you have to go also to reliable or a little bit more reliable source of information. No te vas a quedar solo con lo que te dicen ellos, sino que tienes que ir a buscar siempre otras fuentes
Yes.
de información un poco más
All
confiables
information.
con personas que te estén hablando de eso, que sean, por ejemplo, médicos, que sean personas estudiadas en el tema y que te den un poquito más de información al respecto, que tú digas como, bueno, esto sí lo puedo creer. ¿Ok?
Okay.
That's the
Yes.
second tip. Tell me.
Perdón por interrumpir.
No, it's
Profe,
okay.
que se le fue el internet.
Ah, okay, baby, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, and that's the second one. So, which was the first one? ¿Quién me dice cuál era el primer tip? Avoiding what? Avoiding what, babies?
Uh,
Avoiding sensationalist media. Okay?
Creo that is that the search that this is information is real.
So that's the second one, searching for criticism, like for reliable sources. And the third one is look for the original source. Okay? What is original source? What is the meaning of source? For example, if you write an article, I am going to tell you, okay, don't forget to write sources in APA style, for example. So what is the meaning of source?
Fuentes, no?
Fuentes. So those places where you are taking the information. What you have to do is to look for the original source. So let's go back to the example that I am giving you with the coronavirus vaccine. What happens if someone tells you that is going to cause cancer, but you don't know who was the original source? Who said it? Do you think that is different if maybe a lady of a small town is who has never used the vaccine tells you that it is going to cause cancer than if the one who is saying that is a doctor with a lot of degrees, a specialist in vaccines? Do you think that is different? Gabi, what do you think?
Can I talk?
Okay, Mariana, go ahead.
I think that in that case, it will be changed, like the possibility that the people, like, what do you say, creer?
Believe.
Believe in this machine.
So that is going to include. So you just have to look for
Yes.
the source. So Mariana, tell me.
Nothing.
Nothing else. So yes, you have to look for it, because if you are like trying to begin a huge trouble and to avoid taking the vaccine just because someone you don't know who said that it is going to cause cancer, that it is not going to have any logic. Yeah, but if you are saying like, no, I am not taking the vaccine because this doctor that is a specialist in this area is telling me that it is going to cause cancer, you are going to have a reliable source where you can be um, confident. Okay? So, the three tips: avoiding sensationalist media, searching for criticism, and look for the original source. Okay, babies? Questions up to this point? Any question? So let's finish with the explanation that I gave to Isabella at the beginning of this discussion time. What is a wiki? So yes, baby, you can go to the restroom really fast. And for the rest of you, what is a wiki? You can tell me. But not Isa because she knows. What is a wiki? Santiago. Like Wikipedia. What is that?
What?
What is a wiki? Like pages like Wikipedia. What is that?
There are pages that the people can modify the information.
So those are pages where you can find a lot of information, but as you can find a lot of. Tell me, Isa.
Teacher, I want.
Tell me.
But it's so easy that some people enter of that pages and put some information that is fake.
That's it. Because you can find a lot of information, you can do it in a really fast way because actually when you try to look for something, when you try to Google something, one of the first pages that is going to appear is going to be like Wikipedia or something like that. But as Isabella was saying, you can also go there and you can change all the information. So how do you know that the information that you have there is true? Does Wikipedia has any source? Does it have sources? Have you ever tried to look for it? ¿Alguna vez han buscado fuentes o citas en Wikipedia?
No.
So you are going to do that exercise. Try to look for something and open a wiki page, whatever you want, and try to find a reliable source inside that information. And the next class you will let me know if you have reliable sources there or if you don't have it. Okay?
Okay.
So babies, this is everything for today. Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Tell
I
me.
have a question.
Tell me.
Es que ayer Mariana dijo que tú habías dicho que habías dejado unas páginas para el 8 de marzo. ¿Cuáles son?
You have the homework in your Q10, but tomorrow I am going to explain the homework. Don't worry. I mean, you have the explanation, but you have like the homework in Q10, but I haven't explained it yet. I am going to do it tomorrow because tomorrow is the last class that we are going to have this week. So that's the reason why.
Okay.
So, any other question? So, babies, see you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, teacher. Bye, teacher.
Chao, Vivi.